ACT stands for Automatic Crimp Technology, and it is a system so unique to hose crimping technology that it has been granted both U.S. and European patents. The ACT controller eliminates trial and error, manual calculations, and unit conversions from the hose crimping process. While there are many advanced features that are part of the ACT controller package, manual crimping of a single hose is a simple process with touch screens and pop-up panels to guide you through the process and produce an accurate crimp on the very first try. In this video, we will cover a number of the basic features as well as the more advanced features which you will want to use as you become familiar with the ACT controller and its ease of operation. Some of the outstanding features of the ACT controller are: auto crimp compensation means that the crimper is measuring not only the crimp diameter but the crimping force as well. In addition, all crimpers have slight mechanical distortions which will vary with different hose and fitting combinations. The ACT controller has an internal algorithm tuned to the specific crimper model which compensates for these variations and will produce an accurate crimp across a wide range of hose and fitting combinations. Inch-millimeter conversion is built into the controller so measurements and die sizes can be entered directly in either inches or millimeters. Auto Crimp Adjust. This is a unique feature, which means that should the first crimp vary from the specified diameter for some reason, you simply enter the measured diameter of the incorrect crimp and the ACT controller will automatically adjust to bring the diameter of the next crimp back into specification. Industrial Hose Crimp Calculator. On the larger crimpers capable of crimping industrial hoses, the Industrial Hose feature makes it possible to accurately crimp a wide variety of industrial hose and fitting combinations with a few simple measurements and without the use of charts and graphs. Pressure monitoring. A pressure monitor can be actuated, which will alert an operator if the crimping force is outside of the expected range. User crimp storage enables the operator to store and label up to 50 different die sets and settings for 150 different die and hose fitting combinations. These settings can be quickly recalled and automatically loaded for repeat crimps. In this video, the steps required to make a single one-time crimp will be covered, as well as some of the more advanced features that you will want to use as you become more familiar with the controller and its ease of operation. Setting up the ACT controller for a single crimp is a simple process. You will need to get the finished crimp diameter and the required die size from the hose and fitting manufacturer's specification charts, as each hose and fitting manufacturer determines the optimum combination of finished diameter and die size for the hose and fitting type involved. Note that the number shown on the face of the die represents the fully closed diameter of the die in either inches or millimeters. Do not set the final crimp diameter at the fully closed diameter of the dies. Turn on the master power switch and the controller will take a few moments to initialize. During the initialization phase, the operator is offered the choice of English, French, German, or Spanish languages. Press the Start Motor and Crimp to Diameter buttons. Enter the finished crimp diameter in either inches or millimeters, and the ACT controller will automatically make the unit conversion. It is important to note that you do not enter the decimal point. The ACT controller will automatically supply 3 decimal places for inch entries and 2 decimal places for metric entries. In this case, enter 1250 inches and the ACT controller automatically adds the decimal point and calculates the metric equivalent. Enter the required die size obtained from the hose and fitting manufacturer's specifications, again either in inches or millimeters, and the ACT controller automatically makes the unit conversion. In this case, a 30mm die is required. Press the manual mode button and the machine is ready to make a crimp. The last step in the process is to physically install the correct die set in the crimper. Press the Change Die button. This allows the machine to come to a complete zero setting and open back up to allow the dies to be installed in the machine. Note that in the Change Die mode, limiting functions are disabled and a warning screen appears. When the dies have been installed, again press the Change Die button and make certain that it is no longer flashing and that the warning screen has disappeared. Insert the hose and fitting into the machine and press and hold the close button or press and hold the foot switch if applicable, and the machine will complete the crimp and automatically retract when the crimp is complete. Measure the finished crimp diameter to be certain that it is within specifications. Should the measured crimp diameter not be within the hose manufacturer's specification for some reason, the Adjust Crimp feature makes it a simple matter to make a correction. Simply press the Adjust Crimp button and enter the measured crimp diameter of the incorrect crimp with the pop-up keypad. The measured diameter will appear on the screen for verification, and when the Enter button is pressed, the machine automatically compares the incorrect diameter with the specified diameter and makes the required correction. There is never a need to add or subtract numbers with the Adjust Crimp feature. This feature is also available when the crimper is in production mode. Auto mode. With the controller in auto mode, a number of additional features and options are available which are not available in manual mode. When the crimper is in auto mode, full auto and semi-auto functions are available. In full auto, the crimper will automatically complete the crimp cycle and retract to a predetermined open position when any of the cycle start options are depressed. In semi-auto, the crimper will only close while one of the three actuation buttons is depressed and held. When you release the actuation button, the crimper will stop. This feature is very useful for accurately positioning a hose and fitting which is difficult to position and where both hands are required. In semi-auto mode, if the actuation button is depressed and held, the crimper will complete the crimp cycle and return to the predetermined open position. If a count has been set with the crimp adjustment reminder, the Adjust Count mode allows the operator to reset the count to 0 or correct the count in the event of an interruption during a production run, or make an adjustment if a bad hose assembly has been made during the production cycle. The production mode works in conjunction with the Adjust Crimp mode. When you actuate the production mode, you are asked how many crimps equal one count. For example, if you are crimping identical fittings on both ends of a hose, you might wish to set the count to 2 in order to track the number of hose assemblies produced. When the crimp adjustment reminder is turned on and the crimper is in production mode, you can set the number of counts before the crimper will stop and require the operator to measure the last crimp. This number can be set between 1 and 9,999. If the measurement is within the required specification, the operator will simply press the Skip button. If the measurement is not within the specification, the operator will be required to enter the incorrect measured diameter, and the crimper will automatically readjust to the required crimp specification. To exit production mode, simply depress the production button and it will no longer be highlighted. The pressure monitor is a feature which provides an additional level of quality control monitoring. In a production run, a typical crimping pressure and tolerance range can be set. If the crimping pressure is outside of this range, a warning flag appears, alerting the operator to the fact that there may be a problem in the process. This is particularly helpful in detecting fittings which may not be fully drilled or other production variations which may not have been detected prior to the final crimping process. In summary, the patented ACT controller takes hose crimping technology to the next level, not only with size and crimp force monitoring, but also with a unique algorithm that compensates for variations within a specific crimper. The ACT controller guides the operator through each step of the hose crimping process with logical screens and pop-up menus as required. The ACT controller can be used to quickly and easily make a single crimp or fully automate and monitor a production crimping process. Contact Custom Crimp for additional information about the ACT controller as well as all of the Custom Crimp hose crimping products and accessories.